Welcome back to Ultimate Movie Recaps. Thanks for supporting us. Today I am showing a 2022 Ukrainian true story film titled Sniper, The White Raven. Watch out for the spoilers, just enjoy and take care. As the movie starts, we see a young couple named Mykola and Nastya, who are expecting their first child together and have chosen to make their home in a serene part of the Donbas region of Ukraine. Both Mykola and Nastya are credited with being the region's pioneers in eco-settling. Nastya is a talented artist who enjoys painting and wood carving. She has even carved a wooden angel for Mykola to give to him as a protective amulet. Mykola is a mathematician, physicist, and ecologist by profession, and goes on a bicycle each day to teach at the local community school. As the couple does not have any electronic items in the home, they are unable to receive any news until Mykola goes to work and sees a few minutes of TV during the break. He learns from the news that special forces have killed several protesters in Kyiv, Ukraine's capital city, and that a Russian invasion is imminent. Ivan, one of Mykola's students, displays no sign of interest in learning. Instead, he keeps antagonizing the teacher every chance he gets, further thinking that his teacher is a freak and a stranger, therefore, he wants him out of there. However, Mykola never lets his anger grow since he is a law-abiding citizen and works on guiding the youth's mind. Mykola sees a group of soldiers stationed by the roadside one morning on his way to work, but he doesn't pay them any attention at all. When he finally gets to school, he is astounded to discover that no one is present. Through the television news, he learns that Russia has invaded Ukraine. Mykola becomes concerned about his wife after recalling the troops he saw earlier. He hurries back to his house, but it is already too late. The Russians are already there pounding Nastya, and they catch Mykola as well as he attempts to defend her. After the soldiers have determined that the occupants of the house are not spies, they start a fire inside the home and leave. However, when Nastya attempts to exact revenge by throwing a stone at them, the soldiers shoot her without any hesitation before leaving that place. Mykola, utterly distraught, clutches the body of his wife as he watches their home burn to the ground. Several hours later, two members of the Ukrainian militia find Mykola, and after confirming that he is an innocent civilian by examining his identification documents, they assist him in digging a grave for Nastya. Then they take him back to their base with them, but before they do so, Mykola ensures that he has the wooden angel with him so that he will always have a memory of his wife. The seniors at the base are concerned about the unexpected arrival of a stranger as he could be a spy, but Mykola swiftly satisfies their concerns by stating that he intends to join the military and help push the Russians out of their nation. Since that time, Mykola has been advised to participate in a rigorous training program in which he is required to exhaust his body and learn how to use firearms. Due to the fact that he opposes the use of force, he has never engaged in either of these activities in the past. He has a hard time disassembling and reassembling armaments, which makes him ridiculed by his superiors, especially once he declares that he has picked Raven as his codename. Mykola does not give in to their attempts to bring him down and instead trains more diligently than usual. He stays up till the wee hours training with his weapons and keeps the wooden angel close by so that he does not forget his objective of exacting retribution for the loss of his wife. After a few weeks have passed, the trainees are informed that there is a shortage of snipers at the front and that the army is looking for volunteers to fill the positions. Even though there aren't too many people interested, Mykola instantly offers to help, only to be welcomed with more laughter in response. Mykola, who is unwilling to give up, decides to test himself by accepting a challenge to demonstrate his abilities. He blindfolds himself and disassembles and reassembles an AK-47 in less than 20 seconds, which earns him the respect of everyone present there. In accordance with his request, they also started to call him Raven as a nickname. Because of his extensive background in mathematics and physics, Mykola breezes through the theoretical components of sniper training with ease. He is capable of performing calculations more quickly than the instructors themselves. Even when a trainer is shooting at the ground close to him, he is very good at sticking to the first guideline, which is to remain perfectly still and silent. He is also very good at following the second rule, which is to never move. Unfortunately, he does not perform well when it comes to the actual shooting, because, for some reason, they have given him a weapon that is distinct from the one everyone else has, the type of firearm that is not suitable for use in sniping during battle. This causes him to underperform when compared to other people. Every time Mykola brings this up, he is informed that he will just have to deal with it. Mykola reiterates his resolve not to give up and prepares a strategy to demonstrate what he is capable of achieving. The last sniper test is carried out in the middle of the night, and trainees are required to fire as soon as the instructor fires a flare into the air to provide them with sufficient light around their targets. Mykola, on the other hand, does not shoot until the end of the test. He first senses the light to determine the distance to the target and shoots in total darkness to hit the target flawlessly in the middle, which is something that no one else was able to do. Because of this, Mykola is able to graduate with the highest possible score, and he ultimately finds himself assigned to a first-class unit. Mykola's first task, along with the other snipers, is to recover a crucial checkpoint that was taken by Russians. The squad is able to enter the area undetected, and each sniper is given a target to aim at. However, just as they are about to fire, they are forced to pause the operation since a civilian vehicle is seen approaching the checkpoint. The couple in the car are asked to come out and present their passports. Once cleared, they are allowed to leave, but the guy's passport is kept. The guy wants his passport back, but the Russian who took it refuses to hand it back to him, which prompts the Russian soldiers to resort to physical force in response. The group members of Mykola observe this, and they launch an assault instantly. They take out every soldier with extremely fast shots, including the one who is attempting to hold the civilian woman hostage. After the team has successfully completed their mission, they raise the flag of Ukraine to reclaim control of the checkpoint. When they return to the base, Mykola discovers that his new recruits have gone on another mission, so he uses the time off to return to the school where he previously worked, where he is profoundly affected by the sight of the empty and dusty classrooms. The following day, when the other squad finally arrived, Mykola received the heartbreaking news that one of his teammates had died at the hands of an enemy sniper. This is one more reason on the long list of justifications for Mykola's desire to exact revenge. Mykola's crew prepares for the upcoming mission by concealing a large number of explosives on trees by covering them with leaves before concealing themselves in the grass and waiting for their adversary to appear. When the Russians draw nearer, as expected according to the reports, Mykola is taken aback to see one of his former students, Ivan, working alongside the enemy. When Mykola hits the detonator, the explosives detonate, killing Ivan and all the other Russians in the process. The lieutenant colonel advises Mykola not to feel sorry for Ivan because he has made his decision. While having a break, the lieutenant colonel shows his family photo to Mykola and tells him that his two daughters don't know the nature of his job as he and his wife had an agreement to keep it a secret from them. What they know is that he is on a business trip. When the lieutenant colonel sees the crucifix he's been carrying, he asks if it's an amulet. Mykola tells him that the amulet symbolizes family to him. A few days later, the Ukrainian forces are successful in securing the trenches along the border, and as a result, the sniper squad moves into position to wait for the Russian forces that are about to attack that place. Mykola gets ready to execute his duty while keeping the angel with him at all times, but he loses his normal composure when he realizes that among the Russian soldiers that are arriving, he can spot the man who murdered his wife. This causes him to lose his usual level of composure. Mykola is very determined to exact his vengeance, and he repeatedly pleads with the captain for permission to fire his weapon, but the captain refuses each time on the grounds that the adversary is not yet in the appropriate position. Mykola eventually grows impatient and fires his gun, striking the soldier, but one of the remaining Russians immediately informs a sniper positioned at that place. It didn't take long for him to kill the captain. Mykola is forced to pull the body of the captain through the trenches as the Russians begin to open fire on them. He has to stay away from any of the incoming bullets or bombs the entire time. When Mykola finally makes it back to the base, hours later, his superior tells him that there will be an investigation to find out the sniper who killed the captain, and they'll reach out to Mykola when they find him. In the meantime, Mykola is overwhelmed with remorse, and he comes to the conclusion that the only way to mend his error is to engage in a series of solo missions. His sniping abilities are still top-notch, and he is successful in eliminating a large number of Russian soldiers. Because no one is there to shield him, he takes unnecessary risks, and as a result, he sustains an injury to his arm when an enemy bullet hits him. Mykola withdraws to a remote location in order to rest and catch up on the latest information regarding the political climate surrounding the ongoing negotiations with Russia. However, his time away from duty is cut short when he receives an urgent call. Mykola is required to return since it has been revealed that the army has discovered the position of the sniper who was responsible for the death of the captain. The soldiers are briefed on all of the information that has been obtained before the mission actually gets underway. Now it is known that the range of that sniper's bullets is comprehensive. He has already taken the lives of 5 Ukrainian snipers and 3 machine gunners, and his name is Sari. To make things worse, he records all of his killings and posts the recordings on social media in an effort to demoralize them. He even had the audacity to post the recording of their captain's death. At least these losses have helped them figure out Sari's location, and because chlorine is stored in the facility where the enemy is hiding, they are unable to cover the place with explosives. Therefore, they have come up with another plan. Initially, their snipers will eliminate the secondary soldiers to clear the way for Mykola to sneak inside and confront Sari face to face. When the operation gets underway, all of the Ukrainian snipers get into position and wait for Mykola to make his way into the structure by crawling through the field. The first soldier he comes across is the other man who attacked his house. Mykola still recalls him and kills him with a satisfying shot, further giving his teammates the go-ahead to strike. This causes all of the Ukrainian snipers to fire at the same moment, and they are able to clear the area without triggering any alarms. Sari is one of the only 2 remaining Russian snipers on the battlefield. They do not become aware that something is wrong until they no longer get messages over the communication systems and decide to check on their fellow soldiers, only to discover that all of their comrades have perished. During this time, Mykola takes advantage of the opportunity to penetrate deeper into the structure without being spotted. Sari calls for backup and assigns the other soldier to stay alert before he goes to his place, where he is shocked to discover a little wooden angel. At that precise moment, Mykola emerges from hiding and pounces on Sari, stabbing him to death with a knife, while the other Russian soldier is taken out by a grenade that has been set up in anticipation of him. The reinforcements that Sari requested eventually arrive at that location, and Mykola uses Sari's radio to inform the newly arrived soldiers that they will be held accountable for their actions. The moment the Russian truck pulls over, the Ukrainian soldiers begin firing on it, swiftly destroying all of the targets in their sights. Mykola chooses to take a break and return to his hometown to pay his respects at Nastia's grave because he has finally exacted revenge on the deaths of his wife, friend, and captain. At the grave, he mends the cross that was knocked over during his journey. Unfortunately, despite how much he misses his home, he is unable to stay there because there is still so much work to be done for his nation. Soon, he will embark on yet another mission on his own, this time with the intention of eliminating as many Russian soldiers as possible. This marks the end of the movie, and thanks for watching.